Welcome back again. We are back for week 6 for another week of amazing college football. This time we got the whole pack of wolves crew here with us tonight. So Hunter is back and better than ever. Colby's with us tonight, and also Savannah's joining us again for another week of awesome talk here for college football. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in for another great week of college football. We've got NC State back at home against one of their rivals this week, Wake Forest. But we're going to talk about the week that was and the week that will be. So, Colby, I'm going to let you start out this week. I'm going to let you give us your thoughts on last week since you were also at the game too. So, give us your thoughts from the stands last week.
So, we won the game, which is great. You know, we really needed a win. We really, morale was low, vibes were low, body language wasn't there. It was really low for us, but we got the win against a tough team. This Northern Illinois defense was legit, I thought. They seemed like they had our number, because there were some passes that I feel like CJ threw that he really should have completed. And give all credit to Northern Illinois. They really made him look like a true freshman. Like, they really made him look as such. And I give them props for their defense. I thought the offense was kind of, they really relied on big plays for them this game. And we allowed some big plays, of course, but I felt like our defense really held their own, scored a scoop and score, which was great. Which only the offense only scored basically 17 points, which our defense gave them helped them with the scoop and score. So I really felt like it was a game that we really needed. The defense really needed. We had a really good defensive game, picked their quarterback off twice, made him fumble twice. We also made the running back fumble, Ontario Brown, who is a beast. I will give him props. Yeah. He is a monster. He is a beast. He is an incredible player. Please come to state. I hope. He probably doesn't have an extra year, but I hope. He's really great. And we really held him down. I mean, I don't think they had a rushing touchdown from him the whole game. And that was something that we came in and said that we needed to stop. And so I was really impressed with that. Win's a win. People may not like the offensive outing that we gave, but a win's a win. You came in there and protected your home, and you came out with a win. And to me, it was all in the cards for State the whole game. Like, I didn't really feel really nervous until the end. And it felt good. I don't know. And it feels really good that we're going against the dreaded Demon Deacons, who I love.
Probably love. Absolutely.
No, I don't. No, I don't love them. I don't like Demon Deacons. I don't like Wake Forest, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, well, welcome back to the show again, Hunter. We appreciate you joining the show again. Tell us what your thoughts were from last week, my guy.
I can tell you one thing. It was so beautiful what Tony Gibson did this week, man. It's so many defensive guys I want to shout out. I mean, it's just stats everywhere. But we finally played with intensity. Our linebackers were back around the line of scrimmage. We were causing chaos, and I'm telling you, we made a lot of plays. Our defense carried us. I'm so proud of that. Caden Fordham, Sean Brown, 13 tackles. My boy Tamarcus Cooley got him an INT. Love him. That scoop and score is amazing. So it's just all the lineup changes were awesome. All those guys that got their opportunity really stepped up. So I really want to congratulate them and thank them for their work, and also the coaches making some great adjustments. So, and the other thing that I really love this week is our special teams were outstanding. We got that fake punt. Our punter averaged around 50 yards a punt. I think 7 out of 8 of his punts were inside the 20-yard line. Really, you could call him the MVP of the game because it really was a heavyweight boxing match out there. Offense wasn't doing exactly like we wanted. We're still figuring that out. But I think you had to really focus on the success of the defense and the special teams this week.
Got to play complementary football. You know what I mean? It takes all three units working together to make things come out. So I loved how we talked about the intensity last week. We wanted to see intensity on defense, and we saw it. So, again, welcome back again, Savannah. I want your thoughts too. Like, give us what your inside thoughts were on what we looked like last week.
Yeah, so I watched, like I said, from Puerto Rico on the ESPN app. So I didn't get to see everything. I did watch the highlights after, and I watched a couple other things of what I could. But I will say, I said like 2 weeks ago that everyone was like, oh, the defense didn't do great. The offense did it, but it's a team sport, so we win together, we lose together. And I literally said, watch it next week, be the defense, the ones that show up. That's always how it happens. If it wasn't offense this week, it'll be offense next week. So I'm never saying that again because it feels like it was manifested. So this week, the offense and defense are both going to do amazing. But I heard the defense really stepped up. I also just feel like it warrants a shout out, the leadership of them on and off the field with the whole hurricane relief thing that they did this week with Davin.
Absolutely.
Things like that are super important, and it makes me prideful to support a university whose athletes are good people. And I think that just is important to shout out. So, yeah.
You can't speak much better than the effort that we had from this week from all of our student athletes. You know, I think the NIL collective put out the number from the entire student athletes that they donated, and it was over $4,000 this week. A lot of them donated portions of their NIL funds to help go to the relief, which is, you don't see that very often. I mean, that's just huge for all of our athletes to step up, especially for some of these Olympic sports athletes who aren't really even making as much, but they're still giving what they can. So shout out to everybody at NC State for coordinating all of that effort, especially to Davin Van and his family for putting together a whole truck out at the Murphy Center and delivering stuff to Western North Carolina too. So, you know, all of our thoughts, prayers, everything up for everybody in the western part of the state and for the entire Southeast. I mean, there's a ton of other people in South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida without power right now. So, you know, we're thankful we can do the show for everybody tonight.
Sorry to make it serious, but felt like it deserved a shout out.
No, we definitely needed to for sure.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the week that was, you know, I mean, it was a tougher week for a lot of people, especially here when it gets real. But we always try to still talk about the game, still talk about what went down, kind of take a little bit of a breakaway from reality for a little bit, but definitely want to continue to still support them. You know, we still have all of our links out there. You guys can support through the Red Cross as well for all throughout this week. So please feel free if you need to reach out to us, to any of us, we still have the link for you guys too. So, but yeah, now that I got from last week, definitely defense. We talked about it on last week's show. So we talked about defense needing to step up, and they definitely did. So shout out to everybody, especially to Davin too, who cooked on the field too. So he ended up having his best career game. And then I saw Newcastle today got on the Ray Guy specialist list this week. So congrats to him too for changing the field. I mean, that's important. There's a lot of things that go through that, but this was a game that warranted field position and don't beat yourself. And that's what they did. So kudos to them for not bowing under the pressure too. So
I gotta say it. I gotta say it for Davin Van. I missed it when I was speaking. 10 tackles, 1 sack, 3.5 tackles for loss, and 2 strip fumbles. He deserves. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. That's crazy. That's a crazy game.
Yeah.
He had Sean Brown had one heck of a game. I mean, I can't say enough about that guy. Caden had another fantastic game too. But realistically, like from the press box, I could notice like Sean really made an impact because he was really getting into a lot of pressures that he didn't even get sacks for. But just the fact that he got quarterback pressures on just disrupted a ton of their offensive plays. And that's just what we were looking for was chaos. And we heard it all week. You know, they had a tough week of practice. It wasn't, you know, anything secret. They were out there, you know, working their tails off, and that's what pays off. You know, hard work pays off from practice to the field. So great to see them step up. Now it's time for us to be able to step up on offense too, which I think they're going to, because we talked a little bit off the show, but Wake Forest defense is ranked 127th in the country right now in total defense. So I think they're going to get back on track this week, but we're going to talk about that a little bit next. So we're going to go around the board. I'm going to start with Savannah. What's your first key that you think NC State needs to do this week to get the win against the Demon Deacons?
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but the answer never changes. The answer is run the damn ball. That's what just needs to happen. That needs to happen every week. You win football games by running the ball. It eats the clock. It gives your defense time to rest. Run the ball. So I'd say that. And the other thing I would say, and I just know that my dad's going to listen and be like, oh, okay, you think you can call the offense? No, it's by no means that. But my mom especially is not a fan of a lateral pass. Like, let's get downfield. Let's make more downfield instead of lateral options.
Same.
So that's what
Same.
I said.
Yep, definitely the same. Hunter, what do you got this week?
You know I love throwing a football, but I do believe this is actually a week where we might actually want a little more balance than I usually want. You know, I like to throw it if I could, probably 60, 65% of the time. Not saying it's complicated throws, but I like to throw the ball. I like tempo. I want to keep defenses from switching personnel in like we talked about what Tennessee did to us and Clemson did to us. But Wake Forest, according to NCAA.com's passing attack, is ranked 13th from what I saw this afternoon. And it wouldn't break my heart if we kept them off the field a little bit. So I want more balance this week. But like Savannah said earlier, it is definitely time for us to get the ball down the field, intermediate passing game. I want to work the seams. I don't want just go routes on the outside. That's a very difficult throw to hit. But I want to see some stuff, some double moves, some crossing routes. I want to work the middle of the field. That's also a little bit easier for CJ to see on his reads, I believe. So those are my two things that I had. And I know that Dave Clawson he's a really good coach. He does a lot with less. You know, so I think Dave has got to outcoach them. I think it's going to be real interesting to see their passing game, you know, and then the way we ought to be able to run the ball against them because their defense, according to NCAA.com, rushing 105, passing 122. Like, it feels like a week if we're ever going to have a get-right game on offense, this might be it.
Yep. Totally agree on that. And then, Colby, what's your final key for this week?
So everybody's really kind of hit a lot of stuff that I really wanted to kind of hit, but I'm going to go with like a defense. I just need the defense to show me consecutively that they can stop and shut down like they did this past weekend. I need to see that. There's just a lot of things that I feel like our players just need to do the right things. You know, no mistakes. You know, you said that Wake Forest's pass offense is like ranked the 13th in the country or something like that.
I got their passing game is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And so if they're ranked that high, you might want to try and D up and stop them. They'll pass all over you. So I just really hope our defense comes out and really like shows what they're made of. And we need to see some consistency. So consistently show me that you can shut them down.
Definitely stole all three of that. This is why I like having all three of you guys here. It's the consistency for me on defense that needs to show up for this week. You know, Bogmeyer's averaging close to 300. He's just short of 300 yards a game passing. And then Claiborne's another good running back for them. He's getting close to 75. I think he's at 76, 77 a game for them too. So it's got to go back to the same thing we did last week. You know, stop the run first, put them in a situation where it's 3rd and long, and then let's get after them again on 3rd down like we did last time. So that was one of the things we wanted last week. We got it this week, and I want it again this week. And I hate to beat my dead horse, but I always like to see those guys getting in the gaps and making downhill plays and not actually thinking less and playing more, which I think they did a lot better job last week.
I'm telling you, they got 3 pretty decent wide receivers, and I get nervous with Dave Clawson. I've seen him do this. He'll sit there and, you know, he'll go a bunch of short throws out of the spread attack where it takes away your pressure. So your D-line and linebacker can't really get to the quarterback unless you got to press cover and man up right close to the line of scrimmage. So some big plays can be hit. But I feel like he'll run a tempo game, and I think he'll throw quick and probably frustrate some fans because I don't know if we'll be able to get to him. We had 4 sacks last game. I'm not sure we'll get to him that much.
He does not sound very confident right now. I can tell you right now, after them losing to Louisiana, it sounds like he is Ooh, that is a coach on the way out, is what I would say.
They put 30 on the team, though. I don't know, only 6 on Ole Miss. I don't know what to think of them yet, really.
Yeah.
They're just really not playing well as an entire defense. Their rush defense, like Hunter said, it's one of the worst in the country. So if we're going to hit on what Savannah wants to hit this week, we definitely got to be able to run the football against this team that is notorious for giving up a lot of rush yards. So
yeah,
definitely would like to see that as well this week. But it always comes down to me winning the line of scrimmage on both sides. So win the line of scrimmage on both sides, and you should be all right. So we did that last week. Let's do it another. Let's give it another week this week too. So, and then I'm going to go reverse style this time. So, Savannah, who is going to be your key player for this week that you want to look out for?
Okay. Unconventionally, I think I have to say the right side of the offensive line. The left side of the offensive line has been better than the right-hand side, which is good. That's his blind side. That's the side you'd hope better.
Sure.
So not angry, but I guess the point is that it kind of goes back to the consistency comment. Like I want consistency so that I can trust what I'm gonna get and not go into a game like, what's it gonna be today? What's it gonna be this drive? What's it gonna be this down? So I think if we can have like a cohesive offensive line unit, specifically the right-hand side, which I know there's been some changes made and it's a little bit different and things have been moved around. So I think it's headed in the right direction. But I think that consistency from the right-hand side of the offense line, which we should be able to see if we have a good when we have a good run game this weekend. That will be because of them. So that's what I'll say.
Totally agree on that. Hunter, what do you got for this week for your key player?
I have a question.
Key unit.
I have a question for you because we held him out a game. Is Aiden White okay physically? I know that he's not. Like, is he okay?
I haven't heard anything on that at all.
Because he's been rotated out some in some key situations in coverage in the fourth quarter the other day. He was out some. Our guys were playing great, but I think my key is for him to step it up and be a leader in that secondary. Because I think Wake Forest will need to make this game a shootout. If they have any chance to win, they're going to have to score a lot of points and get the tempo going. And I just think the whole secondary in general and him, he's my key guy, Aiden. I want him to have a great game.
Yeah. I know he went out, I think from what I could tell from our vantage point, like he got hit in the leg, and that's kind of, you got a stinger. But, Dave doesn't really talk about injuries at all as much until you just see him out there on Saturday. So I'm expecting him to be back for this week. But the good thing is that the guys that have been rotating in lately have been really, really solid too. So, you have to be able to step up when your name's called. And I think they've done a great job the last couple of weeks of stepping up when your name's been called. So I don't know that we'll have, a ton of issues there, especially DK has been playing great the last 2 weeks. I mean, I got to shout him out too for getting the 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. So hopefully maybe he can keep scoring some more points on Wake Forest too this week. But yeah, Colby, who do you got for your key player this week?
Well, I got one guy in particular, and that is the face of our team. And a lot of people would debate if he's the face. To me, he's the face of the team. Casey Conception.
Yes.
Needs
the
ball. Give him the ball so we can see what he is made of. He had a great first game, and he scored this last game. But if you're the face of the team, I need to see a little bit more pep in your step.
Gotcha.
I really want to see some things from him, and I want to see some leadership too. I really think that he needs if he really wants to make it in the NFL, he really needs to show maturity. He needs to show that he is going to come in and be a team player, because nobody really likes a guy who's, me, or nobody really likes a guy who, isn't a team player. So he really needs to come out, play for his guys, and really show me that he is one of the best wide receivers in the ACC.
Yeah.
Totally agree on that. And another, I'm going to add on to that for you. I think he's got to be able to get some more plays for him that aren't just jet sweeps. I mean, no offense for him, but I mean, it's worked a lot last year because he could get to the edge a lot. But I want to see him be able to show that speed and that route running ability because we've seen it so much. I mean, he has the ability to beat guys one-on-one. I want to see him beat guys one-on-one. I mean, from the press box, you could tell they were literally pressing and challenging us to go down the football field. And I think you're going to see that a ton, from CJ going forward. He's a young quarterback. They're going to force him to make reads and make throws down the field. So we got to be able to start using that intermediate passing game and that deep passing game to really open up our offense a little bit too. So I'd like to see KC get some of those middle routes and those intermediate routes that he hasn't really been getting this year. So, we saw it a little bit in week 1 with Grayson, but, we missed a couple of those passes to him over the middle. But I'd like to see us kind of go back to that, get him involved more in those intermediate passes this week. So Colby kind of took my guy this week. I was going to
he's got 250 yards receiving in 5 games. I know that he can do better. Some of it's a play. Look, we're trying to get the ball to him. Easy touches, not a lot of pressure on a young quarterback. I get it. Give him some chance to make a play, beat somebody, but we need to get it down the field more, man. But
yeah. It's not just him that needs to be doing it too. The others need to step up too. I mean, there's people that can say that, I'm the best, or no, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. You got to step up and show it. At this moment, Wesley Grimes is the best. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, Rogers.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, Rogers for 48 in the first half. Yeah. And I don't know if we went away from it or if they made some adjustments where it wasn't there anymore. But, I mean, that was a big start in that game. And, I want to see KC, Noah, and Jolie really leading us in that passing game.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Wesley. It's his former team that we're facing against. Wesley Grimes going off against Wake Forest would be hilarious. I would enjoy it. I would be laughing hysterically.
Justice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Colby, it's not unlike you, to like a former Wake Forest player. I mean, we all know that for sure. But, I would love to see Wesley go off this week too. I think he's underrated. He can get behind some guys and he can get behind coverage too. So I'm like Hunter. I just want to be able to see us kind of at least put a little bit more on CJ's shoulders and let him kind of open himself up to a little bit more deeper passing. I mean, even if he makes a mistake, it's a mistake. He's going to have to learn from that and move on. So at some point, you can't just super shield everybody from making mistakes all the entire time because they're going to make them. So you got to be able to let them learn from them and see how they react. I mean, we've seen CJ's, his 2 interceptions that he came back, especially the one in the spring game, threw a touchdown. His second drive that he came back off his first interception in the season, came back, led a touchdown. So let the kid, make a little bit of mistakes and let him get into a rhythm a little bit too. So ultimately, we all know I think we're going to see a little bit different offense this week. I feel that way anyway. I think Wake's defense is just not that great. But, we're going to see – let's see it actually put into action this week. We want to see how that works out. But obviously, we are getting close to that time. Hunter's got some games for us to talk about this week. So I'm going to let him go ahead and start out. We didn't do too well last week, Hunter, just to let you know.
I haven't been doing too well the whole season, so I need to stop talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just kidding. We always pick games that are close,
Maybe we should pick games that we're just better at.
If I like the colors of the team or the mascot, just pick them. I don't care about the spread.
Hey, at least we did get Duke right.
What mascot would beat up the other mascot? Let's do that. What mascot would beat up the other mascot?
I'm sure my wife could help me. She'd probably do a lot better just looking at that.
Yeah.
Hey, we did get the most important one right, though, all across the board. We did get Duke, and that's all that really matters for us last week.
How about them heels?
Ring the victory bell.
Yeah.
That was great.
So, Hunter, what you got for us? Let's kick it off.
Let's start out with SMU let's do an ACC. SMU at Louisville. Louisville is getting 7. SMU's coming off a big win against Florida State. Not saying Florida State's doing a whole lot right now, but they got a pretty good up-tempo offense, and they're kind of sneaky. What do y'all think about that one? At Louisville, Louisville's favored by 7. Any chance they're going to get it?
Colby, I'm going to let you start on that one.
A pony versus a cardinal. I'm going to go with the Cardinal.
Okay.
Go Louisville.
Go Cards, he says. Savannah, what you got in that one?
SMU is going to come in there and win. Not my personal hatred towards Louisville, possibly. I'm not over our loss to them last year. So, and I think SMU is just kind of on a hot streak, to be honest. If they play the version of themselves that beat FSU, I think they win. If they play the version of themselves that played BYU, I think they lose. So let's hope that they play the FSU version and take that away dub.
Absolutely. I'm going with SMU as well this week. I think we do see them getting a little bit more rhythm on offense now. So give me them just because ultimately I think it also helps us in the long game too. So let's get another loss for Louisville on the board real quick. But yeah, give me the ponies this week for that one. So Hunter, what you got up next?
I got Louisville in that game, by the way. I'm taking them at home.
Yeah, you're going to take them at home. Okay.
All right, so the next one, there's not a ton of huge games this week. No disrespect to all the teams, but it's not quite one of those hype weeks. So next game, let's look at Virginia Tech is at Stanford. Now, Miami and Virginia Tech just had a very emotional game. A lot of people have opinions on that one, the ending and the change call. It was incredible.
Yeah.
That was a Friday night. If Friday night games are going to be that good, I'm going to have to make an effort to watch most of them. But
yeah.
So Virginia Tech is actually favored by 8 at Stanford.
Savannah, I'm going to let you go first on this one. What are your thoughts on that one, Miss California?
Gosh, again, this is personal hatred. I am from Southern California. It is my duty to hate Northern California. So how Colby feels about Wake Forest is how I feel about Stanford. I am their biggest hater. Like, I hate Stanford. So I hope that Virginia Tech just goes there, has no issue with the time change, which is the only thing I'm really worried about, and just throws it down. I had Virginia Tech as my ACC dark horse, and so I really need them to prove to me that they're that team. So I'm taking Virginia Tech in a sketchy game. I do think that they should have won on Friday night. That's my personal view of what happened. Super pissed, super bummed for them, but I hope they take the dub over at Stanford.
Yeah, we all talked about the Hokies taking it to the Hurricanes last week, and I personally think they should have gotten the win too, but I do think they rebound this week. I think they get the win over Stanford on the road. I still like the way Virginia Tech's playing offense. I mean, they really are still really efficient on offense. They just got to clean up some things defensively and get that cleaned up. I think they will this week. Stanford's offense isn't all that great, so give me them this week. And then Hunter, you can give your take on that one too.
Oh, I want to gain a game on y'all so bad right here, but I'm scared to take that. Virginia Tech is so talented. I'm really worried about them traveling, and I'm worried about them having a hangover after Miami. They are favored by 8 at Stanford. I think they're more talented. It'll be interesting to see if they actually build off of that loss, even though it was a heartbreaker, or if they really do have a hangover game. But I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take VT. I can't pick against 8 spread. That's pretty good. I'm going VT.
Yeah. Spread's pretty good for them on that one.
All right. So we got 3 more to pick. Is that right? 3 more you want?
Yep. Okay. Let's do 3 more.
We're building our way up. This is a very sneaky game, though. Next up is Texas Tech at Arizona. Arizona's getting 6. I think, Arizona's like 4-3-1, and I think Texas Tech might be 4-0. It's a really good, they've got good records in the Big 12 right now. But I know Arizona's favored by 6. So Texas Tech at Arizona by 6. Who you got?
I'm going to go super quick on this one. I'm going Wildcats. Just give me the Wildcats all day.
Wildcats.
Yep, bear down for sure.
All right, and I'll take them as well. So next up, Missouri is at Texas A&M. Texas A&M's getting 2.5 points.
Let's start with the analyst who's going to be actually on site this week for that game. So go ahead, Savannah, take that one away for us.
Well, I'm excited for my first time in College Station. I've heard it's an awesome college town. I've heard it's crazy to play in that stadium. I feel like it's hard to lose a home game or hard to lose an away game there. I am morally obligated to the person who got me the ticket to root for A&M during that game. But I actually really do think that they will win. I don't think I'd take Missouri. I think that they're teetering on the edge of greatness, but I think the Vandy game kind of gives me a bad taste in my mouth. Like they're not going to come into College Station and win it. So I'm going Aggies.
Go ahead, Colby. I'm going to let you go next. Who you got in this one?
Give me the Fighting Eli Drinkwitzes.
God,
Give me Mizzou. Give me Mizzou. Grr.
I definitely got Missouri. I love their offense.
I'm siding with the person who's going to be in live this week. So give me the Aggies this week. So I got to make up some ground after last week too, man. It was not a good week for me. So definitely need to get a little bit more on the winning side this week. So give me them this week. Give me the Aggies this week.
All right, and then we got Michigan at Washington. Washington's getting 2.5. I'm so confused on this. First off, is Washington better than Southern Cal? So I don't even know that.
No. Not in my opinion, but go ahead. I'm gonna let Colby take this one first. We'll let him go first on that one.
So my girlfriend would hate me if I didn't choose Washington because she loves Dubs, their mascot. She thinks the Huskies cute. So I'm going to go with the Washington Huskies.
The logic behind that pick, impeccable.
Love it. Colby's got me and Colby both got a little bit of ground to make up. So I like that. He's going against the grain a little bit. Hunter, who you got in that one?
I am a Big Ten hater. I don't mean to be rude. I just don't care for them. I'm going to take Washington as well.
Okay. Savannah, who you got this week?
I'm a big hater of both of these teams. I'm also a hater of the Big Ten. These are all valid points.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I hate Washington. I hate Michigan even more. I just feel like I have to pick Michigan to win because I think that's who will win. Washington is in too much of a disarray to win a football game, I feel like. I know they have, but I just feel like they're kind of a mess. So I'm taking Michigan. Off sheer, they have more talent than Washington does since their head coach left last year.
I'm going to take, again, I'm following you on this one. Give me like the half Wolves because they're not real like wolves. They're only like Wolverines. So give me them this week. I'll take them. I do think they're more talented than Washington is this week. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about, I mean, when we first started this season, we looked at this week 5 game and was like, this might be the ACC championship. But, FSU and Clemson is no longer the same anymore this week. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to do a little quick one on that one too. Go ahead, Colb. I know you're itching to get something out on that one.
Give me FSU.
Wow.
Let's go, Knowles. Hunter, I know you're partial to down there.
I got a lot of friends and family in Florida and definitely got a bunch of Clemson friends, but I'm just saying, man, I believe in Clemson. Maybe I'm wrong. I know we weren't playing well, but I really think they're pretty balanced and really, really good again. So I think Clemson is probably even going to cover the 14. I think it's around 14. It might have gone up.
Yeah. And then, Savannah, I know you got a lot of connections down there in Florida too. So who you got for this one this week?
I do think that Clemson is back. Like, I don't think it's fake. I think they are back. But I think that, I think this is the one game they decide to not be back and Florida State takes it. I just have a feeling. Like, I do think they really are back, but not this week. This is going to be the 1 week, of course, that it's like FSU has a game like they played last year.
Yeah.
Well, it's at night, and they got a new quarterback in there, a new spark, and it's at night. I mean, it's not easy to win at Tallahassee ever, especially not at night.
No, and I'm going that trend too because Clemson. I think they are back too, but I still think they have a little bit of Clemsoning left in them for this week. Hunter definitely knows what I'm talking about on that one, but yeah, I definitely think FSU gets up for this one. They tend to get up to their competition that they play, and they typically play down to their competition too. So I think they're going to get a little bit of a spark this week, and I think their defense maybe gets it done. They turn it into kind of a messy game down there this week. So I'm going to take them.
I'll take that W on y'all three. That's fine.
Okay. Well, as always,
give me
the
the Cardinal for Virginia Tech, by the way.
Okay.
Give me the trees.
Give me the Fighting Trees are definitely going Colby's way this week.
Fighting trees.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to wrap it up as we always do with our score predictions or just predictions in general for the week that's going to be this week against Wake Forest. Colby, I'm going to let you go first, because I know it's going to be tough to pick against your boys over in Winston, but, I'll let you give us your thoughts first.
For those of you who don't know the story, I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. That is 30 minutes away from Winston-Salem, where Wake Forest is. I don't like Wake Forest. I've never liked them. They need to be disemboweled from the ACC. They don't need a program. I hope Winston-Salem sinks into the ocean.
Oh, man.
With that being said, 56-2. NC State.
Safety. All right.
The safety they get because they sack Lex Thomas in the end zone. Or somebody. I don't know.
He said they're gonna sack somebody in the end zone.
56-2 or 52-6 to 52-2. Like, come on. I don't like them. We're beating them. So, end of story. There's no discussion here.
All right, perfect. Hunter, do you think State's going to cover this week? I think the last time I saw it was 8.5, I think is what I saw it the last time.
According to DraftKings Sportsbook, I just pulled up, I got State is 5.5 favorite and the over-under is 54.5 points.
All right.
So that's about 28 apiece. I think that we're going to have a better offensive game this week than we've had in a while. We're going to get some points. So I'm going to take us 35-28 in a little bit of a more scoring game than we wanted. We're going to score more points than we wanted to. 35-28 State.
All right, perfect. And then, Savannah, I know you don't like to do scores, but give us just what your predictions are going to be for this one. What's going to happen on that one?
Yeah, I can't definitely give a score prediction because we won last week and I didn't give one. I'm not superstitious. So can't be doing that. I kind of agree with what everyone said. I think our offense will be the best we've seen all year, to be honest. I think that the defense is on the right trajectory based off of last week. I think they keep that up, and I think we run the ball simply because their run defense is bad, but also because we kind of get our footing and figure out how we want to do that. I also feel like I should project that we have like some awesome special teams play. Like there's going to be some special teams play that's just going to like go our way. It's going to be great.
Nooncaster runs it in for a touchdown.
Something like that. Or like an 87-yard return to the end zone off a punt.
Oh, yeah.
Something big on special teams.
Boy, that'll get rugby, wouldn't it? You did a punt return like that? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I will say that Wake Forest notoriously has a tough time on punt blocks. So they have been actually giving up some punt blocks. So give me NC State to cover this week. I think it's going to be 49-21. Wake Forest is going to be – they give up about 4 touchdowns a game. They give up close to 471 yards of offense a game. So give me NC State to get a special teams touchdown. We still give up 21, but we still cover comfortably and get our offense on the right track this week.
And beat Wake Forest.
Yeah, we're definitely going to handle that.
Shout out to all the coaches, players, and Wolfpack Nation, everybody that's helping these people in the western part of the state as well, real quick. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And we'll include the link in the description, too, for you guys so that we can continue to get those efforts going this week as well. because it's going to be a long time. It's not just a week thing. This is going to be something they're going to be dealing with for a long time. So anything you can do, anything you can give, time, money, effort, energy, whatever you can give to them and see what we can do to help them out. So, but that's all she wrote for this week. Colby, you know what to do.
Hang on.
He's serious this week.
Yeah. I'm serious. I'm not even gonna put it on.
I love it.
Let's go. NC State. All day, every day. All day, every day. Wolfpack by 90. I hate Wake Forest. Let's go.